Hello, welcome back. In a stunning new development, Julie Royce, an investigative journalist known for her bold reporting on issues within the Christian community, has made a shocking statement that has sent ripples throughout the media landscape. The statement directly targets Doug Weiss, a prominent figure in Christian counseling and ministry, and alleges new and disturbing details about his conduct and character. The public fallout from this revelation has raised questions about accountability, transparency, and the ethics of leadership within religious organizations. For those unfamiliar with the individuals at the center of this controversy, Julie Royce is known for her tenacious work in exposing corruption and misconduct among Christian leaders. Her previous reporting has highlighted serious concerns within evangelical circles, and she has developed a reputation for fearlessly speaking truth to power. Meanwhile, Doug Weiss is a counselor and author widely recognized for his work on emotional and sexual health within Christian communities. He has built a loyal following, particularly among those seeking guidance on relationships and personal well-being. The new statement from Royce has sent shockwaves through both public and Christian circles. It casts a harsh light on Weiss's character and actions, prompting widespread debate. As details continue to emerge, it seems that something has indeed changed, both in the specific circumstances surrounding this controversy and in the larger conversation about accountability in faith-based leadership. We will explore the background of both Julie Royce and Doug Weiss, delve into the details of the shocking statement, analyze the reactions from various groups, and consider the broader implications of this situation for the Christian community and beyond. The road ahead promises to be uncertain, but one thing is clear: this story is far from over. Julie Royce has long been a well-known figure in Christian journalism. As an investigative reporter, she has made a name for herself by holding prominent figures in the Christian community accountable for their actions. Royce gained significant attention through her reporting for World magazine and later for her own platform, The Royce Report, where she has focused on issues such as sexual abuse, misconduct, and other forms of corruption within evangelical circles. Royce's work has not come without pushback. Many of her articles have been met with resistance from church leaders and influential figures who see her work as damaging to the reputation of the church or ministry organizations. However, Royce has consistently defended the importance of truth, transparency, and accountability, particularly when it comes to those in positions of leadership. Her reputation as a tireless advocate for victims of abuse and those harmed by spiritual or emotional misconduct has made her a polarizing figure. While many admire her courage, others see her as a threat to the integrity of church institutions, viewing her investigative work as divisive. Regardless of the opinions surrounding her, there is no question that Royce's reporting has exposed dark truths within the Christian community, challenging the status quo and encouraging important conversations about ethics and accountability. Doug Weiss, a counselor, author, and speaker, has made a significant impact in the field of Christian counseling, particularly in the areas of emotional and sexual health. His work centers on helping individuals and couples navigate complex emotional and relational challenges with a focus on healing and restoration. Weiss is perhaps best known for his books such as The Man's Guide to Women and The Total Man. His teachings and writings emphasize the importance of emotional health, integrity, and sexual purity, all framed through a biblical lens. As a well-respected figure in Christian circles, Weiss has built a large following of individuals and couples who turn to his ministry for counseling services and guidance. His work often includes practical advice on building healthy relationships and managing emotions in a way that aligns with Christian teachings. Additionally, he is known for his focus on helping men heal from emotional wounds, particularly those that impact their relationships with women. Despite his positive reputation among many within the Christian community, Doug Weiss has not been immune to criticism. Some have raised concerns about his approach to counseling, the methods he uses in his teachings, and the overall transparency of his personal life. As with many public figures, Weiss's life and ministry have not been free from scrutiny, especially as issues of spiritual abuse and leadership accountability continue to be topics of increasing importance within evangelical circles. On January 12, 2025, Julie Royce made a public statement that sent shockwaves throughout the Christian community. Her statement accused Doug Weiss of serious ethical violations, specifically concerning his counseling practices, personal behavior, and professional conduct. Though details of the statement are still being carefully analyzed, it appears that Royce is alleging long-standing issues that go beyond isolated incidents. Roy's statement outlines multiple concerns, the most serious of which revolve around the treatment of clients seeking counsel for emotional and sexual healing. According to Royce, Weiss used his position of authority to manipulate and take advantage of vulnerable individuals, particularly women, under the guise of counseling. She further alleges that Weiss misrepresented his qualifications and used deceptive tactics to maintain his influence over those seeking help. One particularly alarming claim from Royce involves a series of personal interactions with former clients who have come forward to share their stories. These individuals describe situations in which Royce allegedly described professional boundaries, blurring the lines between therapy and personal manipulation. Royce asserts that Weiss's behavior not only violated ethical standards but also caused lasting emotional harm to those who sought his counsel in good faith. Royce also hinted at a larger pattern of misconduct that had been ignored or covered up by certain church leaders and Christian organizations who were complicit in allowing Weiss's behavior to continue unchecked. This claim of institutional silence adds another layer of controversy, suggesting that Weiss may not have been acting alone in his alleged misconduct. In response to Julie Royce's allegations, Doug Weiss issued a brief statement denying the claims and asserting that he had always acted in accordance with his professional standards. He emphasized that his ministry and counseling practices were rooted in biblical principles and that his intent had always been to help those in need of healing and restoration. Weiss's team has also made attempts to challenge the credibility of the accusations. They have called into question the motives behind Roy's investigation, suggesting that her personal biases may have influenced her findings. In the midst of the controversy, Weiss has vowed to address any concerns that arise, but insists that the claims made by Ruiz are inaccurate and unfounded. The fallout from Julie Ruiz's statement has been swift, with responses flooding in from various quarters. Public opinion remains divided, with some supporting Roy's call for accountability, while others stand by Weiss, dismissing the allegations as baseless attacks on a respected Christian leader. Nanage, who have followed Julie Roy's work for years, are rallying behind her and applauding her for continuing to expose corruption and unethical practices within the church. Supporters argue that her reputation for integrity and her commitment to uncovering the truth make her claims credible. They also emphasize the importance of holding Christian leaders accountable, particularly when their actions cause harm to others. Advocacy groups focused on issues of sexual abuse and emotional manipulation within religious contexts have also voiced strong support for Royce. These groups argue that the church must do more to protect the vulnerable and to ensure that spiritual leaders are held to the highest standards of conduct. For them, Roy's reporting is seen as part of a larger movement to bring transparency and accountability to church leadership, especially when such leaders have an outsized influence over their followers. On the other hand, there are many who continue to stand by Doug Weiss, asserting that the accusations are an unfair attack on a man who has dedicated his life to helping others. Some of his supporters question the timing of Royce's statement, suggesting that it may be an attempt to discredit Weiss's ministry during a period of significant growth or influence. Weiss has a strong following, and many of his clients and former clients have come forward to express their gratitude for his counseling services. To Jeanette Weiss, these individuals argue that Weiss' teachings have had a positive impact on their lives and that they have never witnessed any form of misconduct in his practice. For them, Roy's claims are out of character and do not align with their experiences with Weiss. The media's response to the situation has been equally mixed. Mainstream outlets have covered the allegations but are treading carefully as they seek to balance the perspectives of both Julie Royce and Doug Weiss. Some outlets have framed the story as part of a broader reckoning within the Christian community about leadership accountability and the need for transparency. Others have focused on the personal nature of the allegations, suggesting that the controversy could be seen as a he said, she said scenario. Social media, too, has become a battleground. On platforms like Twitter and Facebook, users are debating the merits of Royce's investigation, with hashtags like Justice for Weiss and Weiss Expose Weiss trending in different corners of the internet. The digital conversation has grown heated, with passionate arguments. Margot on both sides. These real and with many similar controversies, the implications of this statement extend far beyond the individuals involved. This situation has raised important questions about the nature of leadership, accountability, and transparency within the Christian community. Julie Roy's statement, if proven true, could signal a broader shift in how churches and faith-based organizations handle accusations of misconduct among their leaders. Many churchgoers and religious leaders are calling for a more proactive approach to ensuring that leaders are held accountable for their actions. This includes implementing stricter vetting processes, providing better oversight of counseling practices, and encouraging more open dialogue about the dangers of spiritual abuse. For Doug Weiss, the fallout from this statement could have lasting effects on his reputation and ministry. Even if the allegations do not result in formal charges, the damage to his public image may be irreparable, and trust once lost is difficult to regain, especially when the accusations come from a respected journalist like Julie Royce. The situation between Julie Royce and Doug Weiss is far from resolved, and much remains uncertain. Will Julie's investigation lead to broader revelations about Weiss and his ministry, or will Weiss' denials and defense of his actions prove to be sufficient in clearing his name? As this story continues to unfold, it will undoubtedly spark further discussions about the role of media, transparency, and accountability within religious leadership. The Christian community, already reeling from other high-profile scandals, will be watching closely to see how this situation develops.